was looking at.
I know Bud comes in and does our coaching.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Class 1A football on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors. They include Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Entrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, Hamilton County Calendars, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. It is a beautiful night for football here on Friday the 13th at Sheridan High School. It's also homecoming night for the Sheridan Blackhawks. My name is Brad Silbert, joined by Craig Atkins. And Craig, we got two teams coming in here, both Class 1A with South Decatur from the Greensburg area. And they come in here with a 4-4 record. And the Sheridan Blackhawks come in here at 6-2, and they've also won the Hoosier Heartland Conference. So it's been a great season for the Blackhawks and somewhat of a challenge for the Cougars.
Yeah, this is going to be a big challenge for South Decatur. Not only that, hour and a half or so drive from Greensburg, but containing a tailback like the seasoned veteran like Joe Callahan when he comes in with 1,099 yards and just a 137-yard average on each game for the season, Brad. So it's going to be a tough, tall task for the visiting South Decatur Cougars, for sure.
Well, if you look at these teams statistically, in some areas they're very close, but in other areas there is just a glaring difference between these two teams. Receiving yards, the Blackhawks and the Cougars are both primarily running teams, but receiving yards, the Blackhawks are averaging 83.4, where the Cougars are getting 60.9. Rushing yards, here's where not a big difference, but 187 for South Decatur and 236 for Sheridan. Total touchdowns, here is where the big disparity comes in.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks have scored 44 touchdowns so far this season. South Decatur has had a lot of trouble getting to the red zone, and especially even when they get into the red zone, getting into the end zone, only scoring 13 touchdowns this season. Also defensively, the Blackhawks, almost 90 tackles per game compared to 43 for South Decatur. And interceptions, the Blackhawks lead that 14-9. So, we really don't have a real even match here tonight.
And talking to the South Decatur crew from, I forgot their call letters, but nice gentlemen they'll be calling the game for their hometown radio.
WTAE? TRE?
TRE,
yeah.
That's right. Actually did run into them 5 years ago when I was doing color commentary on an SEI local sports with a former coworker. Guy drove down to Greensburg, met the guy who called the games. I did the color, and we drove to Milan or South or North Decatur or East Central. So it was kind of an interesting take on Indiana high school football in 2012. But I've seen South Decatur play before, aside from last year in the sectional action.
Mm-hmm.
But the week 2, they lost a big one, and who's coaching Eastern Hancock? Former Cathedral coach Jim O'Hara.
Mm-hmm.
So they can put some points up on the board. They did 53-7, and then Milan took the socks right off the Cougars, 42-0 at Milan in week 4. So they've had some pretty lopsided games at Park Tudor, 37-2, and they've barely nipped Switzerland County, 15-14.
Well, they've got 3 games that they didn't even score in, and one that they only scored 2 points. Another one they only scored 7 points. That Eastern Hancock game, as you said, was a 53-7 loss. North Decatur was a loss of 33-10. And as the radio guys are saying, there were some of these games that they probably should have won, and they did not win. But the Blackhawks, they've been on a mission this year. They've had a great season.
Yeah, they kind of got tripped up in week 1 on the road. Lost one late to Western Boone, 19-7. But then they rattled off 6 out of 7 to get themselves to 6-2. Just one game at Tipton 2 weeks ago. tripped them up 34-14, and that's a Tipton Blue Devil team that's 8-0 heading into this week with a big game at West Lafayette for the Hoosier Conference.
Of course, everybody knows the history of Bud Wright, 50-plus years here at Sheridan, 9 state titles. I don't know how many semi-states, how many regionals, how many sectionals, but the numbers are there. Now, South Decatur's got some tournament history, too. Back in 1990, they won it all, and as a 1A team. So this is a team that's gone to the finals also in that. So they're used to winning. They have a relatively new coach in the form of Tony Bell. He's in his 3rd season, 15-13 overall for the Cougars.
Captain's heading out to midfield with the officials for the coin toss. This is one thing we normally kind of skip over because we're talking about other things going on. But the 4 captains of each shake hands. Obviously, the visitor will call it in the air.
Got a lot of other football action going on tonight for Hamilton County schools.
Yep.
Most of it is on the road, and a lot of it could decide some conference championships.
Yeah, 3 of them are on the west side, lower west side. Noblesville's at Avon. Southeastern is at Brownsburg. Westfield visits Brebeuf Jesuit. That's probably the biggest 4-4 game you could get.
Yes.
Zionsville is at Fisher, so they're actually getting to play at home tonight. Carmel at Lawrence Central. Both those 2 teams pretty much they're out of contention with LC with 2 conference losses in the mix.
Well, you could in the HCC. You could have 3 teams
Fisher
tied for first with Avon, Brownsburg, and Fisher.
They need some help,
depending how things go tonight. I mean, it could be a 3-way tie there in the HCC. And Greyhounds have had a little bit of an off season compared to the championship season they had last year, but they won the championship. But their regular season a year ago was not all that stellar either. But they still went on and won the state championship.
And the quirky thing is, I want to say last year in Hebert's first year, he was either 5-4 going into the state tournament. So if they beat Lawrence Central, that could be the same ordeal where they're 5-4 heading into sectional play. Also, Center Grove at Cathedral, a big one at Arsenal Tech tonight. North Central's at Ben Davis. River Rouge out of Detroit visits Warren Central. Pike at Lawrence North. Hamilton Heights with a big one at Lafayette Central Catholic. Guerin Catholic at Roncalli down on the south side. And like we said a little bit ago, Tipton at West Lafayette for what will be, if West Lafayette wins that one, an outright Hoosier Conference Championship for the Red Devils. Here we are set for kickoff. Looks like South Decatur will be kicking north to south, left to right for you folks. Kind of a low liner and fielded at the 16-yard line as Gunnar Williams returning that ball up the far sideline, out of bounds at about the 38-yard line.
He picked up about 20 yards on that kickoff return, and the Blackhawks will take over. It looks like about the 38 or 39, depending where the spot's going to be. And it looks like it's going to be at the 39-yard line where the Blackhawks will have first and 10.
Yeah, we expect tonight a steady diet, you would say, of Joe Callahan. And when he's not running the ball, it'll probably be Drake Delph or Nick Burnell. Under center. Delph. Pitches. There's Callahan. He gets about a yard.
Good job of defense there by the Cougars. They had that one scoped out, and actually no gain on that. He got caught right there at the line of scrimmage, so we're going to 2nd and 10.
We'll mark him with 0 then. I had 1.
Well, I thought it looked like he got about a yard too, but the officials are a lot closer to it than you and I are. Perry Williams will be joining us a little bit later. He'll have some scores and updates and hopefully a guest or two at halftime.
In motion came Williams. Callahan on the carry, up across the 30. I checked at 40, across the 45, near the 47.
He broke at least one tackle on that and probably got about 3 or 4 more yards. And it initially looked like he was going to get. It looked like he had about 3 or 4 yards picked up. Ended up turning that into a 6-yard gain to make it a 3rd and 3.
He's that tailback that he keeps driving his legs, and that's how. I mean, I'd like to see the stats of yards after contact with a runner like Joe Callahan, because he just keeps the wheels turning. Big 3rd down and 3 at the 46. Hand off again. Looks like Callahan's going to be about a yard shy.
Yeah, he might be a little bit short. By a yard, it looks like, yeah.
Picks up 2.
Oh, boy. Well, let's see where they're going to spot it.
At the 48.
They're going to be about a half a yard short, it looks like.
I'd hate to be on the chain gang, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're either you think looks like someone's always going to get yelled at for it. Oh, no, not there.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Well, it was evident that he did not get the first down, but the question was how much forward progress are they going to give him, and they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
4th and short, and Callahan.
He's got it.
Oh, yeah, with ease across the 50, and he's still going across the 40 and rattles his way down to about the 37-yard line.
That's just plain and simple leg strength there to pick up about 13 yards on that carry.
First down for the Blackhawks.
And we'll give him 14 on that one. They're into Cougar territory here early in the first quarter.
Delph check that. Callahan averages 6.4 a carry. He's right at 6 right now. Callahan again. Nothing doing. 30, 20.
Got
15,
one to beat.
10, 5, and easy into the end zone. Touchdown, Sheridan.
That was too easy, Craig.
37 yards later, and Callahan with his 19th, I believe. If I'm off. Nope. 19th rushing touchdown of the season, and our fireworks here on homecoming. Wow. On to attempt the point after is number 2, Gunnar Williams.
From kickoff return to place kicker.
Up and over the uprights and good. And with 9:28 left here in the first quarter, it's Sheridan 7, South Decatur 0.
Say fans celebrating 25 years. Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. Contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com, or follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I believe if I got the math right here, Craig, it looks like they went about 61 or 62 yards on that drive in a little less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, about 2:26 off the clock, and already 7-0. Sheridan gets that crowd. A nice big homecoming crowd. We saw the floats when we came in. And it's kind of unique having Week 9 as homecoming.
Yeah, I would have. I guess I would have thought this. If anything, coming up here, I thought it was going to be senior night.
And that's like another odd thing. My high school, Concord, up in Elkhart. My parents said that they do senior night, the first home game. So the crowd's big for the seniors. Kind of, in a way, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Williams to kick from his own 40. Kind of a low. Nope, that one's going to go.
He did not go back into the end zone.
From the 2, he did. He circled just across the goal line and back. And that kind of hurt his return. Trying to see who that Cougar was.
21.
Yep. Oh, wait. Is that 23 down there? Devin Martin. Unless they snuck a 21 in on us.
Well, 21 was we had the initial contact, but like you, I don't see a 21 here on the roster.
So they'll start this drive at their own 11-yard line, 9:22 left first quarter. Glad you've joined us. Craig Atkins with Brad Silbert. Beautiful night for Week 9.
Blackhawk defense meeting the challenge from the Cougars.
This one's going to get backed up. Oh, check that. Thought the official was backing up the huddle more. No gain. Check that 1 yard.
Yeah, maybe about a half yard at the most. So technically, you got to give him a yard.
Oh, he's off to the races, and a big boy at that.
He's got 4 Blackhawks on him, and from the time those 4 put their arms around him, he got another 15 yards. What a run.
I didn't catch who carried that ball, did you?
I thought I saw 34, but that can't be right because that's a linebacker. Oh, wait a second. No, it is a tailback, Kenny Meadows. I think it was 34.
Nonetheless, 26 on the pickup.
Try it again, and this time they go backwards. Meadows with the carry there. He lost about 3 yards on that. Looks like that's going to be about a 2nd and 35, or 2nd and 13 from the 35. Not 2nd and 35. Both of these teams have a tendency to keep things on the ground, which will obviously keep the clock running.
Meadows lost 3 there. Pitches the ball. Now it's going to be a halfback
flea
pass.
Flicker.
And that ball's going to be picked off by Gunnar Williams. Nope, incomplete. Couldn't hang on to it.
Oh, boy, I thought he had that. I thought Williams had that raked in.
Yep, Bushhorn. Tucker Bushhorn got his hands in there.
Yeah, Bushhorn was just outplayed out there, and if he hadn't got a hand in there to poke that away, the Blackhawks would have had the interception. As it goes, it just goes as an incompletion. But that was a pretty good throw there by Devin Martin.
Not too bad, but he didn't fool Gunnar Williams.
No, but and he threw it just a little bit short.
Back to pass. Meadows goes up the sideline, and Bushhorn, no. Incomplete pass. Gunnar Williams on the coverage, number 2 for Sheridan.
Same 2 players that time, only this time Bushhorn had a chance to catch it, and Williams had to bat it away instead of just the opposite.
Brings up 4th down and 13 at their own 35. Back to receive this punt, number 13, Ange Namke, and 15, Cameron Hovey for Sheridan. I believe that's 60, Bryce Murphy to punt that ball. And
goes dead at about the 27, it looks like.
Namke stays away from it. So Sheridan will take over on their second drive at the 28-yard line.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
We heard anything from our newlywed Jack?
Have not.
Still on the honeymoon, huh?
Emily's got him locked up, maybe. I don't know.
Jack and Emily getting married.
Last Saturday.
Yep.
Kathy was the officiant.
Mm-hmm.
1st and 10, Blackhawks at their own 27. Delph, pass the ball, and Namke.
That's in. Ooh, I thought that was going to be intercepted. I thought I heard a whistle before that play started, but apparently not. It's all going to go as an incomplete pass.
Oh.
First pass play for the Blackhawks tonight.
It's kind of a surprise to actually see Delph passing the ball on the season. 44 of 83, 29, actually we'll call it 30%. 8 touchdowns, 2 picks, 667 yards on the season. It's probably not too surprising, but they obviously like to run the ball a lot more than pass. Oh, Williams almost didn't have a hand on the ball as he got that pitch in the backfield. And
that was a little dangerous.
He picked up 2 to the 29, but slightly dangerous.
Going to bring up a 3rd and 9. On their first possession, the Blackhawks just ran right down the field and made it look easy. They're running into a little more problem this time.
Officially a 1-yard pickup. Namke to the near side.
Will the Hawks go to the air here?
For the big 3rd down and 9. Williams in motion. And
there's flags.
Yep, movement up front. False start going to make it a 3rd and 14.
What's 5 more yards?
It just made Bud Wright take his hat off in a little bit of frustration, but puts his arm on Drake Delph and says, okay, here's what we're doing on 3rd and 14. Now get us the first down and more.
Yeah, Bud's not only a coach to these kids, he's like a father figure
He's like
to most
dad,
of them.
yeah.
Dad or granddad or whatever.
Because he obviously coached their dads.
He's probably at least on his 3rd generation of kids, I'll bet.
Yeah,
Easily.
I believe so. In motion, Nick Burnell. Delph
He's
fakes
got
the handoff,
somebody
being
pursuing
chased
him.
Behind, and Burnell gets the catch about the 35. First down up near the 41-yard line. Huge pickup on 3rd and 14.
Needed 14, got 15 for the first down. What a great catch by Burnell. And got to credit Delph. He had, I don't remember who that was coming after him, but he, one of the Cougars was zeroing in on him, and he just managed to get that off before he would have got caught for an additional loss.
And Nick Burnell's brother Kenny was quite a presence the past few years for the Blackhawks. Callahan, handoff, 45, 50, down to the 45-yard line, picks up a nice
14-yard gain, another first down. Callahan came close to being off to the races there again.
Just like that, 6 carries, 75 yards for Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
5:20 and counting first quarter. Sheridan looking to tack another one on.
Yeah, my impression the years that I've known Bud is that he likes defense and he likes to run that ball.
Yep, Callahan again inside the 40 down to about the 39, picks up 6. Yep, my first impression of Sheridan Blackhawk football was 2006, I believe, or 7, one of the two. Quarterback by the name of Nick Zachary.
Mm-hmm. Remember the name.
Who was dominant in that 9th championship season for Bud Wright and Sheridan. And they went down, and that's when they, 07. I saw them play Ritter and Rockville 2 years in a row, and I believe Zachary was part of both those teams, if I'm not mistaken.
2nd and 4 opens up a lot of possibilities for the offense.
Inside handoff, this time to Gunnar Williams, 30, 25, 20.
He's got one
15,
to beat.
10, 5, touchdown Gunnar Williams.
39-yard touchdown for Gunnar Williams. The Blackhawks are on the board again. Ring that bell.
Hey, Gunnar, now it's time for you to kick the PAT. They went all off the fireworks tonight on homecoming.
Well, that's why we waited till 7:30 to start, too, so it'll be dark.
Oh, yeah. I noticed the past few nights it is getting darker that much earlier
It
now.
sure is.
39 yards later, Gunnar Williams makes it a 13-0. He's about to make it 14 to try and get all 7 here. And they take 2:56 off the clock, and it's Sheridan 14, South Decatur 0, 4:16 left, first quarter.
Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Give them a call at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter. Craig, I think, in the pregame we were saying that this basically, I really don't like to use the term piece of cake, but this is turning out to kind of be a piece of cake right now for the Blackhawks.
It is. They're getting whatever kinks that they couldn't get out a couple weeks ago against Tipton. They're getting those out this week.
They got Tri-Central.
Yep.
The
rival from the north, Tri-Central, coming down.
And we'll be here for that game.
Yep.
We'll be right back here next week.
Yep.
I'm on vacation this week. I think I'll just camp out here in the Sheridan press box for a week.
Fall break?
Yeah.
I'm sure that they could accommodate.
I didn't put my sleeping bag in my car.
They might let you in the school. Williams set the kickoff from his own 40.
Williams, the busiest player on the
far.
field so far.
Toss up at the 5-yard line.
Going to throw a reverse there.
Now it's Martin being chased down, and that
they're gonna end up losing on that deal. They're going to be back at the 10-yard line.
The reversal did not work.
That was just as obvious to the Blackhawks as it was to us here in the press box.
So,
that's an exciting play when it works, but when it doesn't work, it can be very, very costly. And that one was definitely costly for the Cougars.
11 black jerseys getting ready to pounce on you. Bushhorn out here to the near side.
Got Williams on him there, I think.
Yep. Up the middle.
Probably about 2 yards on that at the most. That front line of the Blackhawks has been very, very stingy giving up yardage. Keep it on the ground again.
Picked up a couple. Brings up 3rd down and 6.
Look at that front line for South Decatur. There's some big boys out there.
Yep. Meadows, the pitch. That's Martin. He can't get anywhere, and he's taken down at about the 11-yard line.
He's going to lose a couple on that. That's going to be placed somewhere between the 10 and 11. It'll bring up 3rd down.
It says a loss of 3 back to the 11. Looks like they're spotting the ball.
I think with the exception of one run, that's the only decent play that South Decatur's had so far, isn't it?
They've only had 2 other positive runs, a couple 2-yarders by Martin, but then that one he lost 3. And the punt team on, approaching 2 minutes in the first quarter. Back to punt will be number 60, Bryce Murphy. Sidewinder into the hands of the Blackhawks, number 15. That's Cameron Hovey. And he makes room down inside the 40, inside Cougar territory.
Well, we got somewhere between 5 and 10 yards on the punt return on that, but in reality, he probably ran about 25 or 30 because he was running for every yard he was going forward. He was going about 10 yards on an angle. Great field position for the Blackhawks here with under 2 left in the first quarter.
Nomke to the near side, Gunnar Williams split out to the far. Delph back to pass, going up the sideline, looking for Gunnar Williams, and incomplete, off his hands and out of bounds. Oh, that's number
I think that's 29.
29, Brody Perry. Lost the 2.
You had the 2 right.
Yeah, lost the 2 out there. Incomplete. Delph now over 2. $1:54 left here, first quarter.
Blackhawks are mixing it up pretty well tonight. You know, they normally are known more for their running, and they've thrown a couple nice passes tonight.
Yeah, they may be trying to throw off the game film for next week's Tri-Central game.
Yeah.
Because they already played Tri-Central once this year and beat the Trojans 28-6. Callahan down inside the 35, down about the 32 for a 4-yard pickup.
That'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Blackhawks. They haven't had any trouble on 3rd down so far today.
Yeah, the last time they had a 3rd down, it was 3rd and 14 at the
3rd and 14, and they got 15.
And they got 15.
Did it just right. For Bud Wright. Next time I'll say they did it correctly.
Callahan hits a lineman, keeps rolling. Inside the 30, down to about the 22-yard line. That
finally took 4 Cougars to bring him down.
Like 10 yards on the pickup.
10-yard gain and a first down. And the clock rolls on.
9 carries, 95 yards for Joe Callahan. Just another night at the office for the senior tailback.
We are under a minute here in the first quarter.
Gunnar Williams came off the field to take a little break. I think he needed one.
He's been a busy man.
Defense, offense, kicking the ball.
All sides of the ball.
Delph rolling out right. And this one off the hands.
Intercepted.
Cole Cummings was the intended receiver, and this one's picked off.
It looked like it was Brogan Howard who got it, number 40.
Yep, 40.
It was a 4 on there, and there's only one 4 jersey on South Decatur. So for the first time tonight, the Sheridan offense goes off the field without scoring a touchdown.
So South Decatur will have the ball at their own 10-yard line, just about what seems like the normal field position start for the Cougars.
They've been starting deep in their own territory.
And off and up the middle goes Devin Martin.
He probably got about 1 or 2 there. They're going to give him 2. And the Cougars do not have to run another play here in the quarter, and it looks like that is what they are going to do. We're coming to the end of the first quarter with the score. The Sheridan Blackhawks 14, the South Decatur Cougars at nothing. Fans, we'd like to tell you about the Hamilton County Events Calendar, hctvcalendar.com. Be sure to check out this calendar for upcoming events in Hamilton County, including our local high school events. If you have an event, add it to our calendar. It's easy and it's free. The Hamilton County Community Calendar has been online since 1995. Check it out, www.hctvcalendar.com. So far, Craig, with one exception, it's been all Blackhawks in this game. The one turnover and intercepted pass is the only blemish so far for the Blackhawks.
You know, and for the sake of the Cougars, you would hope that they can get some momentum going here, just because Sheridan's out to a 14-0 lead after one quarter, and if they were to go 3-0 in the series, it'd be a long evening because Sheridan's probably not the happiest where they turn the ball over.
Yes, but the other thing that's been key for the Blackhawks defensively, Craig, is that they have pinned the Cougars very, very deep in their own territory, with the exception of one possession when they get out to about the 30. But other than that, the ball has been the Cougars, they haven't been backed up to their goal line, but they've been deep in their own zone with 80, 85, 90 yards to go to get to pay dirt.
Yeah, speaking of pay dirt, Joe Callahan's hit it once, and Gunnar Williams the other time for Sheridan's 2 scores. As we turn things to quarter number 2, Craig Atkins alongside Brad Silver. Glad you joined us tonight. Second down.
Oh, my.
Wow, just about picked off by number 21 of the Blackhawks, James Manis.
Manis had that ball in his hands, and I think he turned to run before he secured it, and he managed to drop it. He's hitting himself in the helmet saying, oh, did I blow an opportunity? He'd like to have that one back. That would have been a pick six.
That's maybe not the play call that you want to, set up there that deep in your own territory at the 10-yard line.
Yeah. But defensively, the Blackhawks have got the Cougars right where they want them right now, at their own 10, with 8 yards to go for a first down.
Big third down. Rolling out. Meadows looking. Finds his receiver. That's 23, Devin Martin. I believe he's shy.
I think he's going to be short.
Yeah,
he only gained about 2 or 3 yards on that. And they're going to have 5 yards to go, so it's going to force a punt here at 4th and 5.
Yeah, I think he picked up 3 there. And
actually, they're going to give him he's going to be 4th and 4, it looks like. Another punt coming up for the Cougars.
Yep, 4th down. And this one kind of a side-winding. And going to go out of bounds.
That's going to go out of bounds at about the where are they going to mark it here? It looks like they're going to mark it at about the 44.
So good field position for the Blackhawks again this drive. Last time at the 36, this time at the Cougar 44.
Now, the only advantage the Cougars had on that is they only got 29 yards of the punt, but the Blackhawks had no return on that. Blackhawks start once again in the Cougar territory.
Delph under center. His tailback is Joe Callahan. Fakes. Delph throwing. Finds
got a man
Brody
open.
Perry, 10. Out of bounds at the 6-yard line. 38 yards on.
Brody Perry with a nice catch in stride. That ball, he went out of bounds at the 6, so they'll have a 1st and goal from the 6. 38-yard gain on the first down. Blackhawks are really, really mixing the plays up tonight, Craig. Very much so. I really expected to see more of a ground game than an air game. This is a lot more air than I expected to see.
Yep, you got that right. Same thing out of my mindset on this game. Handoff. Callahan,
he's going to score.
Easy does it. Hurdles over the goal line and into the end zone. 6 yards later for a touchdown.
2 plays. 6 points. The Blackhawks out to a 20-0 lead. More fireworks. I hope the Sheridan Boosters got a big budget for fireworks tonight, Craig.
Hope they do more scoring like that. Let's keep the scoreboard operator awake.
Yeah. We're trying to keep the scoreboard operator awake here. Keep putting all those numbers up there. The extra point goes wide.
Oh.
So we're at 11:32 here in the second quarter with a 20-point lead for the Blackhawks. Fans, let me remind you that Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. Any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com. Homecoming for the Blackhawks here on a beautiful Friday the 13th. And I think, did you notice all the floats down there? They've all kind of got the Friday the 13th theme to them and in a Halloween theme. So we'll be seeing those at halftime as the Blackhawks get ready to kick off again.
Yeah, you love seeing the creativity of all the classes.
Yeah.
Every homecoming you get a chance to see. See if we can pick up any scoring updates.
So Guy Williams has been busy for the Blackhawks kicking the ball so far with extra points and kickoffs.
Cathedral up 14-0 on Center Grove at Arsenal Tech tonight. Let's see if we can get you some Southeastern Brownsburg, Noblesville Avon, Zionsville Fishers, and Westfield.
A lot of those games ought to be just about the halftime.
Yeah, since this was a 7:30 low lining kick. Obviously going to have to be returned, and barely picked up by Curtis Keppel.
That was kind of a dangerous situation for Keppel there. That ball hit him in the chest and bounced in front of him. And the fortunate thing for South Decatur was that ball wasn't hit real high in the air, so the Blackhawks didn't have a lot of time to get downfield to set up their defense because there was nobody around Keppel when he did bobble the ball, and he managed to get back to right about what we're going to put it at, about the 21-yard line.
Looks like it, yeah. And he kind of had that look on his, his body had that, look.
Kind of had that deer in the headlight look there for a little bit.
Here comes a bunch of black jerseys.
Yeah. Well, like I said, fortunately, the kick wasn't real high, so the Blackhawks had not had a chance to get downfield.
Inside handoff.
Boy, the Blackhawk front line just squelched that before it went anywhere. I don't think they're going to get anything on that one. Well, maybe they're going to give him a yard, it looks like, or a little less than a yard.
Whoever snuck on the jersey of number 41, he's the one who had the 26-yard pickup. He got one there. We'll have to find out at halftime from our friends over at WTRE down the way, who is number 41 tonight. Second down and 9 at their own 22. Meadows back to pass, looking, going up the sideline.
Going deep.
Bushhorn, what a beautiful catch.
He got it.
Tucker Bushhorn, wow.
What a nice catch.
33 yards on the catch.
He caught that ball in stride. Great catch by Bushhorn. And the Cougars are into Sheridan territory for the first time tonight.
Their first passing first down. They've got one rushing, and a huge one at that. Great catch by Tucker Bushhorn.
I would assume with a 20-point deficit, they're probably in a hurry to try to get some points back on the board before this thing gets totally out of hand.
And for Sheridan got the opening kickoff, so what they're trying to do, obviously, get as many points as they can, or at least opportunities.
Yeah.
Because
Meadows threw that one about 5 feet in front of Devin Martin. That wasn't even close.
10:22 left till half. South Decatur at the Sheridan 45, second down and 10. Meadows pitches to Devin Martin. Tries to break it outside. Can't do it, and
he's
he
got
loses
no place to go.
Drops 3 back to the 48. Yeah,
3 Blackhawks converged on him.
Just came right back and found him right in the backfield.
Takes a 3-yard loss to make it 3rd and 13.
Meadows back to pass, and no room. He gets sacked back there and in.
Loss of about 9 on that one. Make it about 4th and a bunch, about 4th and 21, 4th and 22.
So that'll make it 4th down and 21 at their own 44. We're starting to drive.
One of the busiest Cougars of the night is number 60, Bryce Murphy.
Yep.
How many punts is this for him now?
This'll
4?
This will be
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
End over end, and not going to be fielded by Cameron Hovey as that ball goes.
But the 20 is where it looks like it was down. Or where was it touched?
True.
It was touched by South Decatur. It looks like about the 25 or 26. We'll call it the 25. Blackhawks will take over again.
8:56 left till halftime. 20-0, Sheridan up on South Decatur. Cougars making the trip up from Greensburg.
Blackhawks, I think, with their worst field position of the night so far.
Yeah, they've started at the 39, 28. This is close to it.
There's a fumble.
No, ball's on the turf. That's picked up by, is that Bryce? 68. I don't see it.
58.
58.
Yeah, Bryce Lane got it. Second turnover of the night by the Blackhawks. First one, the Cougars were not able to take advantage of it. Let's see if they can this time. They've only got 21 yards to go to hit pay dirt.
At the Sheridan 21-yard line. I formation. Martin inside the 20 down to the 19, 2-yard pickup.
Those are two tough yards, too.
He's had a tough go. He's got 5 carries for 0 yards now.
About 8.5 minutes left in the first half.
$8:15 left here in the second quarter. Martin gets the handoff, and he is pulled down from behind.
That was a jersey tackle. Did you see that?
Cole Cummings.
Yeah.
I believe Nick Burnell.
I don't know if it was Cummings or Burnell, but one of them grabbed him by the tail of the jersey and just slowed him down enough that a couple more Blackhawks got in there and were able to make the stop and hold him to no gain and put a 3rd and 8 up there at the 19.
3rd down and 8, a big one at the 19 of Sheridan. Best field position that South Decatur's had so far tonight.
Cougars definitely in need of putting some points on the board here.
Nope.
About midway through.
Tony Bell going to take a timeout.
Cougars were just about to run out of time on the play clock. Well, while there's a timeout on the field, Craig, let's talk a little bit about Smith's Jewelers. You know, they've been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give their customers a memorable, positive experience. Give them a call at 317-773-3383 or visit them online, www.smithsonthesquare.com. Just about 7 minutes, 28 seconds remaining in this one in the first half. Big 3rd and 8 here for the Cougars. I got to assume, Craig, at this point, if they don't make this, I think they're too far for a field goal attempt. I think this is 4-down territory.
Yeah, I think this has to be 4-down territory for South Decatur just because they haven't been this far in Sheridan territory yet. So Meadows back to pass. Off his back foot, and Devin Martin will catch it at about he gets down to about the 17, 2-yard pickup.
Well short. It's going to be 4th and probably about 6. I think he gained about 2 on that.
Yep, looks like it's at the 17. Halftime score over at Brownsburg. It's Brownsburg 21, Hamilton Southeastern 7. So Brownsburg trying to do its part to try and get in that 3-way tie or
keep a portion of that
tie.
HCC crown. They're going to go for a field goal here. This will be about a 35-yard attempt.
It'll be Cordell Meadows himself. Bushhorn on the hold, and this one's low lining and wide left.
Off to the left and low. I'm a little surprised they went for the field goal there, Craig. I would have thought that they might have gone for the first down with a 20-point deficit. And, even if you don't make it, you don't come away with points. Yep. But the disadvantage on this is they give up 2 yards to the
Yeah.
Blackhawks are at the 20 instead of the 18.
So Sheridan back at it. 6.5 left. 6:36 until half.
A couple mistakes by the Blackhawks have not hurt them so far tonight. If they do the same thing in the sectional against Tri-Central next week, they could be in trouble.
Up Callahan finds room up the field. 40, 45, 50. And there's going to be a flag around midfield, but a beautiful run by Joe Callahan. That's probably going to come back.
Luke Eden got him. Now, if that's a spot foul, a holding call from the spot there, it's going to hurt him, but it's not going to hurt him quite that bad. Now, it might be a block in the back, which would take it all the way back. Let's see what the official's going to have to say here. A holding call. Now that is a spot foul. It's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. So the result of the play is the Blackhawks still have a first down at the 40, although they would have had the ball at the 50. That Callahan again?
Yep.
I think the more you give him the ball, the better he gets.
That's when I've been to, I believe, 3 of Sheridan's games when Joe Callahan's been carrying the ball past couple years, and I think the further on in the game that he gets the handoffs, the better he is. It's like he just keeps getting oiled.
Mm-hmm.
Well-oiled machine. You can see that with his legs; they keep turning and going. Delph back to pass. Ange Namke slipped a little bit. Tackled by number
Wyatt
10.
Gateswood.
Yep, freshman.
Did a good job of bringing him down, but he still got about 4 yards there. Leaves about a 3rd and 3. Blackhawks have to get to midfield to move the chains.
It's the big 3rd and 4 for the Blackhawks.
Halftime tonight, we're going to show the homecoming floats.
Enjoy that, yeah. Enjoy the homecoming floats, folks. Delph hands it off. Callahan finds room, puts his head down.
Got
45,
some running room.
40.
Got a couple blockers
35,
out there.
down to the 30, 25. Taken down at about the 24-yard line.
He is amazing.
29 on that carry. We'll actually be able to do the math on these. They're all a lot of double digits. First down, Blackhawks, their 5th rushing first down.
Good thing your smartphone's got a calculator on it, right?
Sure, it's that smart.
Under 5 here in the first half. Blackhawks threatening again. They started at their own 20. Right now they are on the 24-yard line of the Cougars. Everything going in the way of the Blackhawks so far this evening.
Delph back to pass, going, and Brody Perry.
Nice catch, an over-the-shoulder catch there.
Brody Perry, beautiful pass from Delph to Perry. And before the PAT attempt, it's 26-0 Sheridan. Fireworks.
Guy Williams missed his last extra point attempt. Cole Cummings will hold it. That one looks a lot better. That one goes through. 4:25 remaining here in the first half. 27-0 in favor of the Blackhawks. Fans, no job is too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing a water, fire, or storm, and maybe a little mold remediation, or if you're just a homeowner that simply needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration has you covered. You can contact them at 317-776-9942. Visit them online, www.indianarestoration.com. Craig, there isn't a whole lot we can say about this one. That the Blackhawks so far, everything seems to have gone their way. They've made a couple mistakes out there, but the Cougars just have not been able to capitalize on them.
Yeah, I mean, everything that the Cougars have done wrong, or Sheridan finds a little weakness in it, they've taken full advantage and put 4 touchdowns on the board here in the first half. And, taking advantage of a turnover of that Drake Duff interception, I think we both had it, that South Decatur probably should have tried to go for it on 4th down there. Pretty decent return there by number 1, Curtis Keppel. Looks like trouble on the west side.
About a 16 or 17-yard kickoff return there.
Apparently, Avon has stormed out. It's 40-0. They're up on Noblesville.
Wow.
And from what it sounds like, Noblesville has switched quarterbacks.
You heard anything from Fishers on Fishers and Zionsville?
Not yet. I'm going to track that down at halftime. Or maybe before. 1st and 10.
Well, if our ambassador of goodwill, Mr. Perry Williams, would come up here, he could get all those for us,
Handoff.
He got all that yardage all on his own. He dragged 3 Blackhawks with him to gain about
looks like
4 on that one. Looks like it'll be about 2nd and 6.
For what it sounds like from Noblesville's Andrew Trissler, Noblesville has switched quarterbacks. I believe they're with Ben Easters, the freshman quarterback now. So that'll be interesting. Handoff is to number 34, Kenny Meadows.
Did he even get back to the line of scrimmage? Maybe. Yeah, he did. Maybe he got. Did he get anything on that? Nope, didn't gain a thing on that. So it'll be 3rd and 6. 3:19 remaining in the half. If the Blackhawks can hold them here, they've got another possibility to put some more points on the board here before halftime. You can feel the coolness of the October night coming in after sunset.
You could kind of smell it too.
Yeah.
Driving in.
Smells pretty good. Cougars are going to take a timeout. While they take a timeout, we're going to tell you about Bill Clifford, who's currently a sergeant with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and has committed his life to serving the community with integrity. As a resident of Westfield with his wife Cheryl and 3 kids, family safety is his top priority, and he understands the Sheriff's Office must be proactive against new threats in order to best protect you. For more information, follow the campaign on Facebook at Clifford for Sheriff, and remember to vote for Bill Clifford for Hamilton County Sheriff coming up May 8th, 2018. Remember, follow him on Facebook at Clifford for Sheriff, or check out their website, www.cliffordforsheriff.com.
We'll see if we can chase down a Zionsville Fishers halftime score, maybe Westfield Brebeuf as well. Those are all 7 o'clock kickoffs as Meadows back to pass, and that ball picked
intercepted.
Ange Namke up the sideline, he goes 20.
He's going to get a
10,
pick 6.
5, touchdown on Ange Namke.
Well, we were just commenting to hold them on 3rd down and have a chance to put some more points on the board. And the Blackhawks did it the hard way with the interception, with the pick 6.
And just like that, 2:47 left here until half, and it's 33-0.
Guy Williams back in to attempt another extra point.
We may have to unofficially say that was so many yards. Didn't catch where he caught that ball, but he caught it and ran, and he had Joe Callahan right there to block for him.
Yep.
Gunnar Williams boots the ball through, and it's 34-0 Sheridan.
2:47 remaining here in the second quarter. Fans from personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases. Church, Hiddle, and Antrim protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. 34-0, still 2:47 left here in the half. As I was saying, 2:47 left here in the half. All Blackhawks. Wonder if we might get into a situation with a rolling clock here in the second half, Craig.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how many games, maybe a couple.
Well, they've had at least, Sheridan's been involved in at least one this season that's had a running clock.
That might be two because they've had some pretty good blowouts. A 63-8 against Clinton Prairie. This one fielded at the 6-yard line by Curtis Keppel. Finds room. 20,
oh, my.
Up to the 25, and he's bounced back to the 20. Wow.
He ran right into Jesse Kolb, and he just flat stopped. Kolb just got his arms around him, and there was no place to go.
Kolb, just a junior, 6'3", 190, and solid bricks.
They're giving him forward progress out to, it looks like, about the 26.
Yeah, he got bounced back to almost the 21-yard line, so Kolb took him back a nice 5-yard chunk after they marked him up there.
Got a question for you. Are you familiar with what the rule is on the running clock? I cannot remember what it is. If that's a decision the officials make, or they make it with the coaches, or I'm not sure.
You know, I'm not sure, and
fumble, recovered.
Going to be a loss back to the 21.
6-yard loss on the play.
That'll be recovered by White Gatewood.
Well, they gave him a couple more yards than what we thought, so it's only a 4-yard loss. Make it 2nd and 14.
I think it's at the discretion of
the officials and the coaches.
Yeah, the officials and the coaches.
That's what I was thinking, is that they have to, both sides have to agree to it.
In which at this point, with 2 minutes left here in the first half, 33-0, it may take till mid-third quarter. Ball's
again, another bad snap.
And Callahan sacks him back at about the 13-yard line.
That's 2 bad snaps in a row by the Cougars. They're going backwards instead of forward.
So Meadows, Cordell had that ball. He has.
I think they're going to have about a 3rd and 21.
He's been sacked 3 times for a total of -19.
Looks like we're going to have another timeout here. So while we have the timeout, I'd like to remind you and welcome you to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Class 1A football between the Sheridan Blackhawks and the South Decatur Cougars on Hamilton County Television. Proudly presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. Our other participating sponsors include Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Calendar at hctvcalendars.com, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. We still got 1 minute and 43 seconds to go in this one. A 34-0 lead for the Blackhawks.
Big 3rd down and 21 from the 14 for South Decatur. Boy, a game like this makes a long road trip back to Greensburg.
Yes, it does.
Meadows back to pass. Up the middle he goes, and Looks like his receiver, Devin Martin, wasn't even looking for the ball. And that was
No, he wasn't. In fact, it was actually closer to the Blackhawks than it was to the Cougars.
Yeah, I believe that was Drake Delph. Could have picked that ball off.
Yeah.
And I think he had easy real estate up the home sideline here, but going to be a 4th down and 21 at the 14. $1:40 left until half. At halftime, we're going to let you enjoy the homecoming festivities, folks. And we'll join you again. Brad and I will just prior to the start of the second half. Callahan, if he would have been any quicker, fielded by
from
Hovey.
the 46.
Stiff arms and gets to the 40.
Nice pursuit there, and that's going to be a horse collar.
Trent Knobb with the tackle, and he brought him down. Yeah, he brought him down by the back of his pads.
Yep. There's going to be a horse collar call on that. That's going to add 15 yards.
So from the 41. So that return to the 41 when he was dragged down the 15 yards will get Sheridan their shortest field of the game.
Yeah.
At the 26 of the Cougars.
So that's going to add 15 yards to the return. So that'll put the ball probably at about the 25-yard line, Craig.
Real close to it, and it's way too much time to put another score on the scoreboard.
Well, the other side of that particular instance is if he hadn't horse collared him, he was cutting around that corner, and he probably would have been either in the end zone or a lot closer to the end zone than the 25. So you could almost call that that penalty, you could almost call that a score-saving penalty.
Brody Perry and Anj Namke, the twins to the left. Delph back to pass. Going for Namke this time, and Namke is open. Touchdown, Anj Namke.
He's got a touchdown.
From 25 yards out.
The Blackhawks are putting on a clinic here tonight. The Sheridan Boosters are spending a lot of money on fireworks. They're going to have to sell a lot more of those Bud Burgers, aren't they, Craig?
Perry's going to have to dress a few more up.
Yep.
He was down there helping out tonight. He's the jack of all trades. Gunnar Williams set to kick the PAT to try and make it 41. On the hold, Cole Cummings. And the kick up and good. And makes our score with 1:24 left until half. Sheridan 41. South Decatur 0.
Hey, Craig, let's shift gears here for a second. Let's talk about IHSAA 4A Sectional 8 volleyball that's coming up tomorrow here on Hamilton County Television. 11 o'clock. It'll be the Noblesville Millers and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. They both survived matches, 5-set matches last night at the Mill. You talk about exciting action. Last night, it was killing me being a Cub fan, not being able to watch the Cubs and bringing you bringing everybody the volleyball sectional. But you talk about some great volleyball action. All four of the teams that played last night deserved to win. As it turned out, Royals took and stopped the Fishers Tigers in 5 sets, and the Millers beat the Carmel Greyhounds in 5 sets, and those were not decided until actually right at the end in that. But then we'll have Westfield and Anderson in the second game, and then the winners of those two will be meeting at 7 o'clock for the sectional championship. And we'll have that live here on Hamilton County Television.
Yep, that will be some exciting action tomorrow at the Mill for 4A volleyball sectional action. And this one, Keppel, up the middle he goes. Beautiful return up to about the 41-yard line. Curtis Keppel. And we'd also like to extend a good luck to the Hamilton Southeastern boys soccer team.
Yes.
As they'll be playing in the regional tomorrow, as well as the Noblesville girls soccer team.
I believe the boys are at Kokomo.
Kokomo, yeah.
And the girls are up at Logansport.
Yep.
The Noblesville girls will be playing Fort Wayne Carroll.
Yep, they'll be
and I
playing
do not
game 2.
remember, to be honest with you, who the Southeastern boys are playing.
I looked at it, but it's escaping me right now.
I should have brought it with me tonight,
Yep,
but I was lax.
It's been a busy week, Brad. It's okay. First down at the 41-yard line.
I think that the Cougars may be content here just to try to run this clock out and go into the locker room and get a tourniquet or something like that to stop the bleeding, because the bleeding is that bad.
Well, after this play, they may or may not have to run another play if they choose to do so. Meadows back to pass. The rush is on. Up the middle. Tucker Bushhorn with the catch. Gunnar Williams on the coverage.
It is a catch. It is a catch.
Down to about the 27-yard line, so
that'll stop the clock to move the chains.
31 yards on the pickup by Bushhorn.
The Cougars have already used at least 2 of their timeouts.
Clock rolling now, 33. And they spike it. Nice catch by Tucker Bushhorn.
That was a good catch.
Sounds like a baseball name, Tucker Bushhorn.
Mm-hmm.
We'll chase down some
Scores
of
related
interest.
to Tucker Barnhart.
Maybe just first name.
Both B's. I saw not too long ago Tucker signed another contract with the Reds. Going to be a Red for a while.
They tend to like him down
He's
there.
a good man.
Yep. At the Sheridan 28, looking to put some points on the board, and the ball is caught by number 86. That is Max Delvo.
Now the question is going to be on this one, Craig, is this going to be offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference? Because there was a lot of contact and a lot of shoving going on down there. And we'll just have to see what the call is.
As of now, they're spotting the ball.
It's going against South Decatur.
Yep. I did see Max Delvo. Great catch.
Yeah.
But because he pushed off.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
There was a lot of pushing on both sides of that, but I think Delvo got the last lick in, and that's probably what caused the flag.
You know, in a situation like that, when the cornerback is pushing off the receiver doesn't, mentally just needs to think, I can't retaliate.
Yeah.
Because that's when the penalty gets called.
Because that's exactly what happened.
Especially when you see a fight.
A lot of emotion.
Mm-hmm. You see some little kids start a fight. The second kid always gets in trouble.
I've got to believe there's a little trash talking going on down there tonight, too. And
second and 25 back at the 47 of Sheridan. Meadows back to pass, almost loses balance, and he's going to be sacked back at his own 47, so a 6-yard loss there. Looked like more, but that's going to end the first half. Oh.
The clock is stopped.
3.9.
Do we have a flag on the play? I don't believe we got a flag. I think we must have had
one.
a. Oh, yeah, there is a flag.
Oh, I see it now.
Between the 45 and 50
looks
on the
white,
far side.
Here. Timeout, South Decatur with 3.9 seconds left.
That must not be a flag out there. I thought that was a flag out there.
It looks like it.
Just over the 45-yard line.
Oh, he's going to pick it up.
Did
it drop?
Putting some time back on the clock.
8.1 seconds left. First half of play.
So it'll be third in a bunch, 3rd and 32. The only chance that South Decatur has on this one is a Hail Mary into the end zone.
That's what I always loved as a kid, the cheerleaders throwing out the plastic footballs with the sponsor names on them.
Uh-huh.
Loved that as a kid. We always had those little basketballs and footballs. 3rd and 32 at their own 49. Meadows back to pass. Going to be rushed. Throws the ball up the sideline. And is it going to be picked? It is. Oh, no,
incomplete. 2.2 left on the clock, so they'll have one more play. So.
But Jim's getting a whirlwind. I'm not sure which helicopter.
The racket you hear is one of the television stations landing back here behind the football field.
If it's Anthony Calhoun or if it's Dave Calabro. Probably blowing Jim's hair around.
I hope it's not the sheriff's department coming for Jim.
Dave Calabro.
This has been the longest 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's taken 4 or 5 minutes to play the last 15 seconds of this half.
4th and 32, and if you're South Decatur, you might as well go for it here because it's the last play of the first half. 41-0.
We thought the last play was going to be the last play.
Right.
How many more have we got in us?
Of course, then from 3.9 seconds, they moved it back to 8.1.
Yeah.
And then
now it's at 2.2.
With that play, now it's down to 2-2.
Okay, I think we're finally about ready to go here.
The ball is
at the 49.
49.
The fact that it's 4th down, the fact that there's 32 yards to go is irrelevant.
And he says, wind the clock. Here it goes. In the pistol is Meadows. Back. Oh, just about jumped that route, Gunnar Williams, and that's the final play of the first half. At halftime, it's Sheridan 41, South Decatur 0. Fans, we hope you stay with us for the halftime festivities right here on Hamilton County TV. We will stay with you, and Brad and I will be back in just a little while to wrap up the first half and get you ready for the second half right here on Hamilton County TV.
in Sheridan High School's football field. The 2007 and the 1992 teams are here once again this evening to celebrate a state championship honor. The seniors in the 2007 football team were Luke Parker, Seth Bergen, Riley Carlisle, Nick Doty, Zach Gibbons, Chris Gray, Ron Rivera, Kyle Moore, Corey Paddock, Brandon Pickett, Nick Robinson, and Josh Sapp. They were coached by Larry Bud Wright, Don Chesney, Matthew Hewitt, Perry Hume, Brian Milliken, Nick Chabant, Rob Williamson, and Travis Wright. The homecoming queen was Jessica Rushton Goodwine. The team's journey to the state championship title was perfect with a 15-0 record. It was a three-peat as it was the third year in a row. The Blackhawks won the state championship. For this title, the Blackhawks scored 34 to Rockville's 28 to win the game. Members of the 2007 football team here tonight are Luke Barker. Luke played football, was on the wrestling team and track team throughout high school. He lives in Kirkland and works as a millwright for Maddox Industrial. He and his wife, Shay Gant, Have 2 children, Violet, who is 6, and Silas, who is 5. Nick Doty played football and was on the 2007 football homecoming team. He's also wrestled and was on the track and field team. He is a premise technician for AT&T. He's married to Brittany Klein and have 3 children. Bryn, who is 6, Jackson is 3, and Mavis is 4 months old. They live in Noblesville. Kyle Moore is married to Abby Clayton. They live in Westfield. They have a son, Jackson, who is 1 year old. Kyle played football and baseball. He is a senior automation engineer for Lilly. Brandon Pickett. Brandon played football and golf in high school. He currently lives in Dallas, Texas. He's a production manager for Cintas and is engaged to Caitlin Kalman. He has a Dalmatian princess named Zeta. This is your 2007 football team. The seniors on the 1992 team were Ryan Bishop, Scott Cecil, Bill Childs, Rusty Kaufman, Lester Downs, James Horn, J.B. Massengale, Tim Sayers, Adam and Rob Rail. Game is Holly McNew. Jordan Payton, who is a 10 at Addison High School. He is self-employed and lives in Cicero. He has 2 sons, Austin and Justin Horn. James is credited with making the only touchdown in the championship game against Ritter. Adam Spencer. Adam played football all 4 years in Sheridan. He lives in Sheridan and teaches math at Sheridan Middle School. He is married to his wonderful wife, Lindsay. They have 4 great boys. Kane is 17 and a junior on the team. Is playing tonight. Look for number 3. Camden is 12. And in 6th grade, Chance is 10. And in the 4th grade, Crew is 7. And in 1st grade, Lee Weekly. Lee played football and baseball for 4 years in high school. He lives in Dover, Indiana. Is a construction site superintendent. He is married to Shannon. They have 4 children. Devin is 17, Trevor and Tanner are 13, and Eli is 7. Shelly Zachary. Shelly played football and basketball and was a member of the track team. He was honored in 1992 with the Phil Eskew Mental Attitude Award. He is a teacher at Greenfield Central Schools. He and his wife Ann live in Rushville. They have 2 children. Molly is 12 and Owen is 9. Also with us this evening is Rob Rowe, who is assistant coach for the 1992 team. He is applicant for Co-Alliance. He is married to Penny that have 2 children. Rob is 15 and Ethan is 11. They live in Lebanon. Your 1992 Sheridan Blackhawk team. The 1967 Sheridan Blackhawk team is celebrating the 50th year anniversary homecoming. Senior members of the team were Charles Barrick, Donald Barron, Wayne Christ, Dan Delph, Rick Durbin, Rex Freeman, Phil Greenman, Brad Heffelmeyer, Mark Mendenhall, Kenneth Milliken, Neil Palmer, John Pickett, and Jerry Staley. They were coached by Bud Wright and Kent Harris. The homecoming queen was Bev Hames. Here tonight is Dan Delph. Dan played football and basketball on the track. He's retired from Frito-Lay and lives in Atlanta. He is married to Andrea. They have 5 children, Tony and Angie, who are twins, Jason and Matt, and Mindy, who are also twins. Next, Rick Durbin. Rick played football and was on the wrestling track teams. He lives in Westfield, is the owner of Hometown Pizza, and is retired. His children are Greg and Julie. Next, Mark Mendenhall. Mark played football. He is a retired mechanic at Marathon Petroleum. He is married to Roberta Klein Mendenhall, and they have 2 adult children, Amy and Max. Mark and Roberta live in Lebanon. Next, Neil Palmer. Neil played football and basketball and was on the track team. He lives in Palm City, Florida, and works as a sales engineer. He is married to Rita. They have 3 adult children, Shane and Tal Bauman, and Scott Palmer. Neil specifically wanted to thank student council and athletic staff for this evening and the opportunity to visit with friends. Next, Kent Harris. Kent spent his career making a difference here at Sheridan Community Schools. He is now retired, but always be a Sheridan Community Schools advocate. He has 2 sons, Brad and Brian, and he has 5 grandchildren. He and his wife Sue live in Zionsville. This is always a special evening because homecoming means coming home to memories and moments and always everyone to be proud of their beginnings. Sheridan Community and Sheridan Community Schools is a great time to be a Blackhawk. As these alumni members of the 10, 25, and 50th year teams leave the track, please recognize them with another round of applause. Thank you.
Secretary of the junior class and Secretary of Student Body, I would like to welcome you to Homecoming 2017. This year's theme is Scary Creature. And students have been busy building floats, participating in spirit days, and supporting their Powder Cup teams. Last competition for the School Spirit Dinner. It has been a fun week for
Welcome back. It's halftime here in Sheridan, Indiana. You know, three things don't get much better here in Sheridan, Craig. Number one's the Bud Burger. Number two is the score. And number three is coming to see a homecoming celebration like we've had here tonight with the Sheridan Blackhawks.
You got to, I mean, you know, got to love, you know, the small town feel with 1A football here. And, you know, honoring the 10-year 2007 state championship team, the 25 and the 50-year teams also prior to the homecoming court. And they didn't even have time to get all the floats out.
When is the last time that you saw a roster for a high school team that didn't have at least 2 columns on it and didn't have probably at least 80 to 100 members and dozens of numbers duplicated? It has been a long time since we've seen this, but Craig, let's just talk a little bit about what happened in the first half. It was absolutely positively all Sheridan Blackhawks. The only real chance that South Decatur had came toward the end of the half when they got close to the end zone, but unfortunately for them, an offensive pass interference penalty put them back well out of field goal range. The only attempt to score tonight by South Decatur was on a field goal attempt. And the Blackhawks have scored 6 times so far.
Yeah, Sheridan has been obviously well in command of this ball game, up 41-0 at halftime, and 12 carries, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Joe Callahan, a 39-yard touchdown run for Gunnar Williams, and a nice 24-yard touchdown catch by Brody Perry from Drake Delph. And Drake Delph, not too bad through the air, 4 for 6, 77 yards. And Sheridan is just, they're managing their plays well. They're knowing when they can run what, where, and they've worn this Cougar defense out.
They've only had 2 mistakes tonight, and fortunately for the Blackhawks, it did not cost them. I see Coach Wright out there on the field with the referee, and I just wonder if the discussions of a running clock have come up in this game, because I know the Blackhawks were involved in another game earlier this season where it was just such a lopsided game that they did decide to go with the running clock. So I'm wondering if that's not what they are discussing here. But anyways, before we get back to football action, we'd like to welcome you to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Class 1A football, the Sheridan Blackhawks and the South Decatur Cougars, here on Hamilton County Television. Our participating sponsor, Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in the business. Other great sponsors include Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, the Hamilton County Calendar. I didn't even know there was a Hamilton County calendar until here a couple weeks ago. I learned something new. Also, Bill Clifford for Sheriff. We're just a few seconds away from the beginning of the second half here. Channel 13's Dave Calabro is down there tossing shirts.
T-shirts, yep.
And
had a couple of the Blackhawk players throwing those out too.
Mm-hmm. Been quite an evening here for the Blackhawks. I think, did you say Callahan is over 150 yards already?
He's right at 150, 12 carries for $150, and average is 137. So that makes him well over the 1,100-yard mark now.
You know, the other thing a game like this does for Coach Wright is, getting ready for a sectional game next week. It could give him an opportunity to rest some of his starters and not risk injuries.
Yeah, it could be some time in the second half for a couple reserves to get some carries. And I think you might be right. We may, and we'll pick up on it once the first half starts going, but we may be having a running clock. Not just yet.
Nothing has been officially set up here in the press box about it. So
there may have been something discussed with Coach Wright depending on if it gets to a certain score. Maybe if it gets another score before South Decatur is able to, then they may go that route.
Cougars will have the first possession. That's Guy Williams teeing it up. Williams has been a very busy man tonight. He's played in.
A big one up there in West Lafayette. Red Devils up 17-0 against the Blue Devils. Red Devils and Blue Devils.
Make that Gunnar Williams, not Guy Williams, my mistake.
Bobbled by Curtis Keppel, but he's trying to make good of it. Gets up to the 36, where South Decatur will set up shop for their first series of the second half.
About a 30-yard kickoff return there puts the South Decatur Cougars in a pretty good field position.
I'll bet his return yards have been more than their total yards.
Probably have.
Very, very possible. They've had some struggles offensively. Except for the passing, I mean, not too shabby out of a couple 30-yard plus tosses by Cordell Meadows, but they haven't really, except for the one carry, and I didn't catch him with 41's name. But except for that one carry, they really haven't been able to get a whole lot going with their ground game. First and 10 at the 35, Meadows back, and he'll lose 5 on the coverage sack.
I think what happened on that one was number 23, Devin Martin. It looked like he was going to take the ball, and he tripped. I don't think that was designed to be a pass play. And first play out of the box here in the second half, the Cougars lose 5 yards on a broken play.
Five-yard loss. Pitch. Now it's Devin Martin, gets across the 30. Maybe a no gain, maybe 1 yard.
If
for
he
Martin.
got anything back on that, he maybe got a yard at the most, Craig.
Make it a 3rd and 14.
They're going to give him a yard, it looks like. Oh, they're saying no gain, 3rd and 15.
Tucker Bushhorn out here the near side. Looks like Devin Martin to the far. Tailback back there this time is Kenny Meadows, sophomore brother. Meadows, Cordell back to pass, and Gunnar Williams
intercepts it.
Picks it off at the 42. Gunnar Williams with his second pick.
That one was headed for Tucker Bushhorn, and Gunnar Williams just stepped right in there in front of that ball and took it away. Looked like he might have had some room down the sideline, but he couldn't get out to the sideline, so he does bring the interception back about 3 or 4 yards to set the Blackhawks in motion with their first possession.
3 minutes left over at Brownsburg. Bulldogs up 28-7 on Hamilton Southeastern.
Looks like they'll get at least a share of the HCC title.
Callahan bounces outside, 50, 45, down to 40, 30. Out of bounds at about the 27.
I couldn't see who ran him out of bounds, but
They'll run him out the 30.
it was definitely a touchdown-saving tackle.
25 yards on the carry by Joe Callahan.
Blackhawks pick up another first down at the 30-yard line of the Cougars.
His last 3 carries, 20, 29, 25.
Blackhawks are making it look easy tonight.
Williams split to the far. Near side, it's Cole Cummings. Handoff to Callahan. Finds room. Up the middle he goes. 25, down to about the
6
23.
or 7 or 8 yards. Fisher's Tigers over the Zionsville Eagles, 23-10.
That's our first update from that
Yeah,
game.
Tigers also in the race for the HCC crown.
If they all 3 win, Avon, Brownsburg, and Fishers, it'll be a 3-way.
Three-way tie.
Going 5-1.
And unfortunately, by conference rules, they go by the record. head-to-head competition is not counted in that conference.
Yep.
So they would, regardless of what their head-to-head results are, if they're all at 4-2, they're all co-champions.
3 out of 7. Ooh.
Ron Colley out ahead of Guerin in the third quarter.
Callahan picks up 6 on that. Going to be a 3rd and 1 at the 21-yard line. Ouch, 24-0. Ron Colley up on Tom Dilly and the Guerin Catholic Golden Eagles as they will possibly head into state tournament play next week at 6-3.
Looked like the Eagles were really, really soaring there for a while. Then they came up against some really stiff competition.
Delph hands it off at Callahan, finds room off of his block.
Still
and
not down.
Still going, down to about the 13-yard line.
Second effort on that one, Craig, gave him another 5 or 6 yards, and it looks like he's down to about the 12-yard line.
I think he got 9 on that, down to the 12.
Yeah.
Great
what a
second
run.
effort.
What a run. Keeps adding to his total. Here's a little bit of a surprise. Brebeuf behind Westfield, 24-21.
You saw Brebeuf last week.
Yeah, that's a very well-oiled, good team.
Yep.
Beat the Royals. They beat
Callahan up the middle he goes.
Several weeks ago. They beat Tom Dilly's Guerin Golden Eagles. Blackhawks just methodically moving the ball down the field after the interception by Gunnar Williams.
Just under 8 minutes left here, third quarter. 4 minutes into the second half. And Sheridan looking to put another score in the end zone. Callahan in the backfield. Delph. Williams in motion. Callahan gets a handoff. 5.
He's going to score.
Touchdown. Barely gets across the goal line. That's all he needed for the 12-yard touchdown for Joe Callahan.
What's he averaging per carry tonight? He's got to be at least 10 yards per carry.
Let's see. I'll do some math here. Ooh, green fireworks.
And the bell goes off once again. Gunnar Williams back out there to put some more points on the board for the Sheridan Blackhawks. Their 7th touchdown.
211 yards on 18 carries. That makes him a bulky 11.7
I thought he was over 10.
So it was 7:36 left here, third quarter. It's Sheridan 48. South Decatur 0.
Fans, who's celebrating 25 years in business? Well, that's none other than Logan Street Signs and Banners. They specialize in last-minute signage and banners. They've been serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can call them up at 317-773-7200 or visit their brand new website, www.loganstreetsigns.com. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Craig and I would like to thank the rest of our crew here tonight. Executive Producer Director Jim Wofford down there at the controls. Bill Wofford up on the roof with the cameras and capturing all the action for us here tonight. And our roaming reporter, Perry Williams. We thought we were going to hear something for Perry, but
he's yet to be seen.
He is yet to be seen. I don't know what he's doing. I know he was over there frying Bud Burgers earlier, but...
has he fallen asleep?
We have just found Perry.
Has he...
He is. He's in the recliner in the truck. Well, we got to send him up here, put him to work. A big lead for the Blackhawks. The only blemish so far tonight is one missed extra point. 7 touchdowns.
Set to kick off, Gunnar Williams. Between Callahan's 18 carries and his many defensive snaps, he and Gunnar Williams are probably right up there for the most plays in the game tonight. Keppel from the
about one or two.
Tell you what, he's got a nice little return.
Mm-hmm.
Up to about the 24-yard line.
He picked up 23 yards there.
So the Cougars will set up at the 24.
You know, every coach tries to find some positive out of a game, even if they get whooped like they're getting whooped tonight. And I'm sure for South Decatur it's going to be their kickoff returns and their punt returns that are going to be the positive for them tonight. They have done a great job with those.
It's a big tune-up for the Sheridan Blackhawks as they will host the Tri-Central Trojans right back here at Larry Bud Rice Stadium. And sectional 44 in Class 1A next week.
Looks like still most of the starters are still in for the Blackhawks.
Up the middle, Devin Martin, his biggest run of the night. Picks up, looks like 10 or 11.
Might have a first down there. They are signaling that he did get the first down. Got out to the 35-yard line. Probably about only, the fifth or sixth first down they've had all evening. They've had four.
2 passing, 2 rushing. And the 2 passing were a 33 and a 31-yard pickup, both by Tucker Bushhorn in the second quarter. And they hadn't had a rushing first down since the first quarter. Meadows hands it off to Martin.
Once again, Martin runs into the brick wall of Blackhawks right there at the line of scrimmage.
He got 1 yard out of that.
Maybe got one out of that at the most. About 6.5 minutes left here in the third quarter.
End of 3 from Avon. Avon 47, Noblesville 7.
Nice little run there on that second down play. Got about 5 yards for the Cougars. Trying to listen to find out if we could find out who number 41 is there, and have not been able to figure that out yet.
We'll probably find out at the point where it's probably a little moot. 3rd and 4 at their own 42. Meadows under center, hands it off. That Martin, he tries to bounce outside, and he'll be taken for a loss back to the 38.
I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage before the Blackhawks got him. It looks like he's going to lose about 3 yards on that back to the button. Looks like they're going to place it right about at the 39, so a 3-yard loss on the play. That'll bring up a 4th down.
About a 4th down and 6.
Another guy who's been busy for the Cougars tonight, the punter number 60, Bryce Murphy. Blackhawks have come close to blocking a couple.
And there it is. It's blocked.
Yep.
By number 62 for the Blackhawks, that is Tanner Swindle.
He just barely got in there and just got a hand on that thing. And unfortunately for Murphy, he just didn't get under the ball, and the ball didn't take off from his foot very well. It kind of went straight, and the Blackhawks were able to block it. And they take over an excellent field position at the South Decatur 39. There goes the helicopter.
Blackhawks in prime field position once again. Ange Namke here to the near side. Williams in motion. Gets the handoff. He'll come off left side, but he drops a yard.
He'll lose a yard on that one. I wonder if Callahan's done for the night.
Jim and Perry sending Dave Calabro on his way.
I thought Dave came to pick up Perry and take him home.
Maybe Kathy came calling.
Okay.
She said, hey, Perry. Time to come home.
2nd and about 12.
Burnell. Nick Burnell dropped in the backfield. Back at the 44. So he drops 3.
I don't see Callahan on the sideline, and I don't see him on the field.
Actually, he's right
there he is.
Right
yeah.
here,
Yep, there he is.
Looks like they're working on his helmet.
Mm-hmm. He looks like he might be done for the night, though.
Might be a smart thing on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Delph back to pass. He's got plenty of time. Going up the sideline, looking. Namke.
Got a receiver.
Beautiful catch by Anj Namke. Out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Once again, the Blackhawks had 3rd and long. Put up a nice pass up there and ended up picking up. Gosh, what did they get? About 30 yards on that play. Almost right around 30 for the gain.
29 unofficially from the 44.
Officially, they put him at the 15.
False start.
There's a false start.
Yep. The call.
That'll cost them 5. A very penalty-free game tonight so far. Biggest penalty of the night came on that offensive pass interference by South Decatur, which cost them some really, really good field position.
Which unfortunately was more obvious on the push-off by Delvo in the first half. But that 5-yard mark-off makes it 1st and 15 from the 21. Delph back to pass, has his receiver Brody Perry, and through the hands actually of cornerback Curtis Keppel.
That ball was just a little bit high for Keppel to handle. Might have been able to make a catch on it if he'd have got about 6 more inches of vertical leap, but that one's kind of high. Also thrown in a dangerous position where if there'd been some coverage out there, that ball could have been intercepted, but fortunately for the Blackhawks, it just goes as an incompletion and gives them 2nd down.
I would venture to guess if this were to turn out to be a score for Sheridan, we may see Brody Perry with the catch in the slot and finds his way down to around the 14-yard line. That was a long 2. Perry's 3rd catch on the night.
They're inside the 15 now. Officially calling it 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8 from the 15. That'll be
Clock continues to run.
In motion, Namke. Here comes the run by Namke, and he's got 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, he hits the front pylon.
He went
1 yard.
He went out of bounds about the half-yard line. The referee down there sticking his foot right on the marker there, and it looks like they're going to be about a half a yard short.
Yep, he hit that pylon because he hit the inside, the front end side of it, which
the other thing he could not do is he couldn't move the ball over to his right side.
Or we got knocked
out. Because the South Decatur defenders were on his right side, so he had the ball on his left side, and unfortunately the ball went out of bounds. If he'd had it on his right side tucked in, he might have had a touchdown.
So 1st and goal at the 1. Delph hands it off, and that is Gunnar Williams. Can he get in?
Close, but no signal yet. They're signaling 2nd down.
Williams looking for his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. And with his helmet off, I believe Joe Callahan will be done for the night.
Yeah, he's just kind of
they're looking for Nick Burnell to come back out.
Down there by about the 30-yard line, just visiting with some people over there. Visiting with Hunter Flug, who's been injured for a while.
Minute 45 left here, 3rd quarter. And inside handoff, and
Cougars smelled that one out real good, and that was
Williams again.
Yeah, number 34, Kenny Meadows, who made the stop. In fact, they may have lost a yard on that. They're outside the 1 now. So it'll be 3rd and goal. Clock continues to tick away.
Give Williams a loss of 1 there. So he's got 3 carries for -2 yards this quarter. Minute 5 in the 3rd. In the backfield is number 15. That's Cameron Hovey. Pass from Delph and
Caught.
Touchdown. Brody Perry from 1 yard.
That was just a very well executed pass play, Craig. Perry
Nice
went
slant.
up there, and he just grabbed that ball and stuck it into his breadbasket and puts the Blackhawks over the half-century mark for this game.
54, lots of 5s and 4s up there. 55.4 left here in the 3rd quarter. It's 54-0. Sheridan up. Gunnar Williams looking to tack on the PAT. Lines it up. And the kick is up
That one looks pretty good.
and good. 55-0 our score now.
Fans Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out online, www.noblesvilletrophies.com. You can also follow them on Facebook and Twitter. Our ever young and energetic Hamilton County television crew will be back at it tomorrow. Jim and Bill will be at Noblesville High School tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock to bring you the semifinals of the girls Class 4A Sectional 8.
Here's one for you, even though it's odd that it's a Friday night ACC football game. 4th quarter, Syracuse up 24-17 on number 6 Clemson.
Wow. I hate to see college football on Friday night.
Right.
Friday night
I agree.
is high school football
You
night.
got it. I don't think they should try and take away from the high school Friday night lights.
I think that's anything for the almighty buck, and I will stop right there and say no more.
I agree. Williams set to kick off again from his own 40, 55-0. Sheridan all over South Decatur here in week 9. And Keppel back there. Oh, touched it. He's got to field it. And
Goes into the end zone for the
goes
touchback.
in. First touchback of the night.
Always a challenge here, Craig. You know, when we obviously follow pro football, I'm involved with college football, involved with high school football, and just remembering what the rules are and where the ball goes.
If you touch it inside the field of play and not in the end zone, and it goes into the end zone,
as soon as that ball breaks the plane, it's a touchback. And, of course, in the college and the pro ranks, the touchback goes to the 25. High school still at the 20. But high school still hasn't got a 2-minute warning. Neither does college.
Which is odd because college would have it if they're trying to get these those kids ready for the NFL, whichever ones do make it. First play of the series for South Decatur. That is Devin Martin.
They're going to have to run one more play here before this third quarter will mercifully end. Did gain 2 yards on that.
Yeah, they'll have to run one more play as the play clock's at 17, game at 20. You hate to say it, but it just looks like South Decatur is worn down from trying to play defense.
Yeah.
And you see how dirty
They just can't get anything to go right tonight.
Dirty and dingy the white jersey of number 23, Devin Martin, is.
He's been beat up tonight, that's for sure. So that's the end of the third quarter here in Sheridan with the Blackhawks ahead of the South Decatur Cougars, 55-0. Let's talk a little bit about the Hamilton County events calendar. The HCTVcalendar.com. You be sure to check out this calendar for upcoming events in Hamilton County, including our local high school events. If you have an event, add it to our calendar. It's easy, and you know what the best thing about it is? It's free. The Hamilton County Community Calendar has been online since 1995. www.hctvcalendar.com. Doesn't it seem odd to talk about something as neat as the Hamilton County calendar and say it's been online for 22 years already, Craig?
That's crazy. I mean,
It's different.
22 years, but people are just now finding out about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's something new to us.
Yeah.
But it's been around since 1995. Of course, people didn't use the internet as much in 1995, but now they can do anything and everything on the internet.
We've just been informed that the fourth quarter will be a running clock now, and that would be the exception. The only exception to that would be injuries or if South Decatur wants to go back to the normal clock. So we will have a running clock here for the fourth quarter, and with the exception of an injury or, as I said, if the Cougars decide that they want to go back to a regular clock. But at this point, I think they're ready to get on the bus and go home, Craig.
Yeah, I think so. And speaking of getting on the bus and going home, it looked like it was a walk-off win for Buff 28, Westfield 24.
Wow.
Here's a big one. Hamilton Heights 31, Lafayette Central Catholic 17.
Flea flicker.
Down.
Bush caught it.
Wow, at midfield.
That's a 35, 36-yard gain. He made it to the 49-yard line.
Is that Martin that threw that ball?
Yes, I believe it was.
36 yards.
Yeah, Devin Martin.
Look at that. 33, 31, 36 on the receptions. Bushhorn 3 catches for 100. They need to get Bushhorn in the end zone.
Now we have a call or timeout that has been called by the Blackhawks. So while we got the timeout, let's tell you that from personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, and Tipton. Contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or simply visit their website, www.cchalaw.com. The Blackhawks were pretty quick to call that timeout. The Blackhawks were, after that particular play, the coaching staff wanted to talk it over, so obviously even with the running clock, they can still call a timeout. But I think the Blackhawk coaching staff saw something in that coverage that they did not like, and they wanted to talk that over right away.
Meadows back to pass, going again, and Bushhorn's all open inside the 20.
Now, are they going to say that was a catch and a fumble? They're counting it. They're saying it was a catch.
Wow.
Coach Rick Wimmer got his 250th victory tonight as the Tigers managed to hold off the Zionsville Eagles. And the way it sounds right now, it sounds like it's going to be a triplex right there on top of the HCC between Fishers, Avon, and Brownsburg. Two big plays here for the Cougars. There's another one going up toward the end zone, and it's intercepted.
Is that Gunnar Williams again? Nope.
No, I can't see who it was. It was a double-digit number. So the Blackhawks take the ball away from the Cougars, as the Cougars had two beautiful back-to-back pass plays, and it was almost looking like they might score there, but That ball was thrown into the end zone, and the Sheridan Blackhawks have come up with it, returned the ball to where they put that. They're putting it at the 13-yard line, and once again, we do have a running clock for the rest of the game, with the exception of injuries or a team called timeout, or if South Decatur elects to go back to the normal clock.
We will see some new personnel in on this drive. 10 minutes left in the ball game. Oh, and the new quarterback in there for.
Yeah, that was the Blackhawks have taken a timeout in order to avoid the delay of game penalty. With that timeout, let's remind you that Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. Any questions, contact Community Health 317-355-7775 or check out their website, www.ecommunity.com.
Looks like the new quarterback out there for Sheridan is number 16, Keenan Warren. 5'10", freshman quarterback. Looks like Hovey will be one tailback. Number 11, Jarman Warren. A junior will be another running back. Saw 26 out there.
Yeah, Gunnar Williams is out now. He's on the sideline. Blackhawks lost a couple yards on that one. Looks like they lost about 2 or 3, 2nd and 12.
Now, looking into this even further, there are 11 Cougars in Indiana high school football. There is 1 Cougar with the K. Second down at 12.
Once again, another running play.
Hovey gets the carry. This time the ball's on the turf and into the end zone. 23, Devin Martin.
Picks it up and gets a touchdown. Was that Devin Martin who picked that up?
Devin Martin picked it up, so he scores on the defensive side. So South Decatur gets themselves on the scoreboard defensively after 15, Cameron Hovey.
I saw a fumble, but I couldn't tell if it was a bad snap or a bad transition from one player to another, so I did not honestly see what happened on that.
55-6. Clock is running. And we've got a left-footed kicker in number 86, Max Delvo. Kick is up and good.
So the South Decatur defense puts the Cougars on the board. Their first 7 points of the game, 55-7 now.
That could be something for them as they go to Edinburgh next week, a team they won't beat at home 46-22 in Week 5.
Mm-hmm. Hey, fans, Smith's Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, and Westfield, also in Carmel, for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer certainly would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give their customers a memorable, positive experience. You can contact them at 317-773-3383 or visit them online, www.smithsonthesquare.com. My name is Brad Silbert, along with Craig Atkins, Jim Wofford, and Perry Williams down in the truck. Will Wofford up on the roof with the camera. We have a running clock for the remainder of this game due to the wide gap in the score. The South Decatur Cougars finally get on the board on a defensive play, and they're ready to kick off to the Blackhawks.
Jarman Warren will field it over his shoulder now and try to spin around, go up the field. He's at the 20, trying to reverse field.
Return man for the Blackhawks is number 11, Jarman Warren. 5'8", speedy junior.
First time we've called his name tonight.
And the Blackhawks will take over on this drive at their own, looks like 22-yard line.
That's the name that really needs to come. If you're starting in high school,
So the Blackhawks have got a 1st and 10. About the 21-yard line is where it's officially set.
5.5 and ticking, and will continue to tick.
And we have a timeout called.
Except for a timeout or an injury.
Timeout for the South Decatur Cougars. Fans, no job is too small or too big for Indiana Restoration Services. Whether you're a homeowner or a large business experiencing water, fire, storm damage, or maybe mold remediation, or you're just a homeowner that simply needs a good carpet cleaning, Indiana Restoration has you covered. Contact them at 317-776-9942. Visit them online, www.indianarestoration.com. Craig, we'll be back here same time, same place next week, 7 o'clock, as Tri-Central comes to town in the opening round of the IHSAA State Football Tournament, Class 1A. We'll see these same Blackhawks again that we're seeing tonight. We'll have to see if they got the energy in them next week like they've had tonight.
Yeah, not as far from Sharpsville for the Trojans to drive like the Cougars had from Greensburg.
Yeah, Sharpsville actually isn't too far from here, up near Kokomo.
That's about, if you're coming
down 31.
31, that's 286th Street to you and me.
Cheerleaders having some fun here, tossing footballs to the fans.
Some black and red footballs to the fans in the stands, keeping them entertained this final 5 minutes of the game. As Sheridan going to roll into state tournament play with a 7-2 record.
South Decatur's defense has really been swarming here against the second team of the Blackhawks. Did gain a couple yards in that one, but 2nd and 10. Looks like it's about the 22 or 23-yard line.
Final at Avon, it's 57-7. Orioles over the Millers.
Wow.
And it looked like it was come from behind fashion. Brebeuf Jesuit takes one at home against Westfield, 28-24. And last count that Jim had was, ball in the
fumble.
Turf. It's going to be picked up again. That's by number 10, Wyatt Gatewood.
The second unit for the Blackhawks just has not been able to do a thing here against South Decatur.
Jacob Vita fumbles.
Second turnover by this group.
So South Decatur in good field position at the 16 of Sheridan. Best field position they've had all night.
3:25 and counting remaining in this one. Blackhawks finally get a 11th man on the field. That's number 41 again, whoever he is. Not listed on the roster. Whoever he is, he's
making an impact.
Sizable guy.
Yeah.
He carried about 3 or 4 Blackhawks with him for at least about 5 yards more. Got a 9-yard gain out of that.
He's got 4 carries for 41 yards. They may.
Close to the end zone. Looks like he's down to about the 2.
It's Jacoby Shook is 41.
Meadows, and he's going to barrel his way.
34, Kenny Meadows scores from 1 yard out.
Cougar touchdown on the game. It is now 55-13.
And Meadows with a 1 yard touchdown run. Gets the Cougars into double digits. It's 55-13.
I think you have identified our mystery man, haven't you?
I picked up on our friends next to us from Shine 99. Jacoby Shook,
okay,
I believe. If we've got some South Decatur people watching and we have the wrong name, we apologize. I caught that out of my right ear. And that one is
not going to quite get there.
No good.
Some of the takeaways if you walk the clock a little way from this season when we get ready. I think the biggest thing is the pass defense is definitely the
Bill Clifford is currently a sergeant with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office and has committed his life to serving the community with integrity. He's a resident of Westfield with his wife Cheryl and 3 kids. Family safety is Clifford's top priority, and he understands the Sheriff's Office must be proactive against new threats in order to protect you best. For more information, follow the campaign on Facebook at Clifford for Sheriff, and remember to vote for Bill Clifford. Hamilton County Sheriff, May 8th, 2018.
They may struggle to get this kickoff.
Yeah,
off,
there's
but the
only
clock's still rolling.
20 seconds remaining here. They're not even going to kick it off. That is going to be the end of the game. Craig, I'd like to remind everybody that thank them for watching tonight's IHSAA 1A football game between the Sheridan Blackhawks and the South Decatur Cougars. Brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, Community Health, Church, Hiddle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, and Bill Clifford for Sheriff. On behalf of Craig Aikens, this is Brad Silbert. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week again from Sheridan. Good night.